Hello QPR fans and Players TV, home and away. Just got a good footballing interview with Chris again. Not QPR related, of course, but obviously on becoming a pro footballer basically. And obviously nowadays he's manager at HANWELL Town. Chris, just if you could just give us a general consumption of like how you come about obviously working your way up to eventually becoming a pro, and then for the clubs that you play for, what's it like compared to playing like park football with your mates and Sunday or Saturday afternoon teams? Like, you know what I mean? If you could just give us a quick insight into like how it works, and I mean obviously you know you've got to sacrifice stuff and all that caper.
Yeah. I mean I first started playing when I was 8 or 9 at Lily Road.
Okay.
For St Augustine's five-a-side team. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed my football. Then same five-a-side team as Marcus Spent, who went on to have a fantastic career. And really seeing them guys push on really inspired me to. I mean, they only went on to YTS football at the time, and it just made me want to be part of it. I joined as I got older. I joined a touring side called British School of Sport. Fantastic. Steve Williams, who's still working hard now with the British School of Sport.
Yeah, I do remember because yourself and Dean Rocket. I remember because from our team that we played in together at times.
Yeah.
I remember you guys saying that you were going to play up in like Celtic or Glasgow Rangers or Aberdeen. I can't remember what team it was.
Yeah.
You played at their grounds as well. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Their training grounds.
Yeah, their training grounds. It was like subsidised by the by the club. It's a charity, so we got to travel up to Scotland and play Celtic, Glasgow Rangers, Newcastle, Man City, all these clubs. And
what was that like itself? I mean, how old were you then when you done that?
I was 16, 15, between 14 and 16, yeah. And we got a chance to showcase what we got basically in front of these clubs.
Yeah, why not?
They got you to either stay with them and which they did a couple, or not. And then once that come to an end, Sunday League football with you, isn't it? Kenilworth Castle pub team.
Yeah.
I mean, they're enjoyable times.
Generally, like growing up as a young boy, playing football like most guys could go down the park with your mates, or
yeah,
you get to know guys who, if you go to certain parks, they're always over there playing, kicking ball around, get to know that way. What kind of age did you think I want to become a footballer, realistically?
I think I look back at the Kenilworth days, and without blowing my own trumpet, I was 16, running rings round men, scoring 40 odd goals, and people were like, "You've got something, you should try and take it further." And I remember it was back in the day with no email, so
pigeon.
So I remember sending 60 or 70 letters off to clubs asking, non-league clubs asking for trials, league clubs asking for trials, and
did you get much success?
Yeah, not really getting any reply, and then I got a phone call from Hendon.
I mean, with the no replies, at you said you were 16 years of age. How did you feel? Did you obviously you felt a bit gutted, or
did you
feel down? How did you react to it?
To be honest with you, rather than be worried about the no reply, I was buzzing when a reply did come.
Yeah, of course. That's what you're good for.
Yeah, and then Hendon come back to me and asked me if I'd call me on the house phone, not on the mobile, and asked me if I'd like to come down for training.
Okay.
Went down for training, but in the meantime, Brentford invited me down with them, so I went down and I was with Brentford for a while, and got released because I wasn't big enough. That's what Bob Booker, the coach at the time, said I wasn't big enough. So so that was a big kick in the teeth, because I thought I was doing well, and then in the end he ended up saying, "Look, you're not for us," and let me go. And then I fell into non-league football with Hendon, and I think at that point you think that's it, you're not going to make it.
Yeah. I suppose just head down, get on with it, and just keep going.
And I guess a lot of people, when they get told that, don't think about the non-league scene, and they should, because I did it. I went into non-league, Hendon Reserves. I was playing for Hendon Reserves, and ended up leaving there and going to Uxbridge. And then George Talbot, the Uxbridge boss, who's God rest his soul now, but he was an absolute legend, a lunatic at that as well.
Yeah.
Come and took me from the Uxbridge youth team through straight past the reserves into the first team. Never looked back really.
Okay. I mean, obviously you must have seen something within your play.
Yeah,
to do that, go from one right up to the first team.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he put his boots on. An old boy he was at the time, kicking lumps out the players in training himself, and it manned you up if you like. So yeah. So yeah, went from Uxbridge to, and then had a couple of seasons there, scored some goals, moved sideways if you like to Northwood, who at the time I thought were a club in progressing.
Were they bigger than Hendon or similar size?
No, this is from Uxbridge to Hendon. I went, and so yeah, no, they weren't. They were just as big as Uxbridge. They'd just come up to Uxbridge League, but they were Tony Chills as a boss, another fantastic manager I played for, who I played for later in my career when I come out of the game as well. Yeah, they were just wanting to. You can tell that they were progressing. So I went there, scored some goals, we won the league, and it just so happened that I played well at Billericay away. And Dagenham were there watching a Billericay player. Okay. And and they took me the very next day because I wasn't under contract.
How'd you react to that? I mean, obviously, go from playing for like.
Yeah, it was strange. I was fitting air conditioning.
Totally different leagues of football, obviously, even though it's still lowest kind of league football.
Yeah, yeah.
But the gap must be. I mean, the gap between like park football to even getting up to playing for Dagenham is massive in itself.
Yeah, I mean, I was fitting air conditioning at the time with the Northwood assistant manager Gary Farrell, when my phone went, and it's Gary Hill, the Dagenham manager. We want you to come to Dagenham, and I said, yeah, right, mate. Didn't believe it was him. Thought it was a wind up. Put the phone down, and then it took the Northwood manager to phone me and say it is actually Gary Hill. Yeah. So
were you shocked?
Yeah, he phoned back and he said, you're in a squad tomorrow at Gravesend and Northfleet, who are now Ebbsfleet.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was it. Went there. That's quick work. Full-time football, my dream.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I mean, you're one of the lucky ones because, I mean, obviously, if you just explain to people, like, because obviously people like to become a footballer, you know, obviously you've got to work, like day-to-day jobs, you've got to sacrifice things, even at a young age, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I when I was playing semi-pro for Uxbridge and teams like that, I was a postman with you. What else did I do? I worked in a kids' toy shop in the early learning centre in Watford.
And obviously, like, going back to, sorry, I keep stressing about the playing level, like going from say park Sunday or Saturday afternoon football, then going to play like non-league or semi-pro, and then actually playing for Dagenham, who were they League Two at the time or not?
No, conference at the time.
Conference at the time.
Yeah, they were conference. They were in transition as well. They were going from a part-time club to a full-time club, because when I arrived, they had some part-time players, some full-time players.
I mean, I suppose the difference is obviously like from the likes of going training to the way you approach your game of football kind of thing. Obviously, the knowledge, the stuff that people are giving up, throwing at you left, right, and centre. Yeah. Obviously, about your ability, as we spoke about before we done the interview. Like, you know, it's all about stats and stuff these days, which helps in the way. But if you ain't got the ability, then
yeah. I mean, it was a huge step up, because I've gone from getting up at 5:30 in the morning to go and West Middlesex Hospital and fit the air conditioning to.
Obviously, great for yourself and anyone else who has actually made it as a footballer kind of thing. You know, you're doing something you live to dream, like most boys would do. Yeah,
to go into play football and get paid for it. Whereas when I was playing for the pop team that we alluded to, we were playing £3 a week. £3 a week to pay. I was asking mum and dad for £3 so I could pay myself. So
I mean, obviously during the time of playing for like Northwood, Chelmsford, and then eventually come up to play for Dagenham and the other teams, obviously family support must play a part.
Yeah. I mean, my family were fantastic. My mum and my dad were fantastic, especially my dad, who would drive me to training and drive me to games.
Oh yeah, of course. I think that's the natural thing that parents would do. I mean, nowadays it could be totally different, because obviously there's a lot more money involved in football nowadays. Yeah. As such, now obviously kids want their parents to do. Kids like parents want their kids to do. If they can make it, they've just seen the money sign, which is fair enough. That's quite normal, I suppose. Yeah. But then they're forgetting about the kid. The parents are just seeing it like money.
Yeah.
And it's tough to make it as a pro footballer.
Yeah,
as you know yourself.
And I think back then my dad didn't really look at it that way either. I think he just thought.
It's something you like doing.
Yeah, it's something I like doing, and I remember.
Of course, I mean, obviously, I'm not saying that every parent is looking that way, but I'm sure there's quite a few out there that would.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because I've got kids now, so 2 boys and a girl. When we talk about the money in it, push them into football. But then when I look at the way some of the time I've been treated in football as a player, if you like, or some of the things I've gone through, I just think, is it for them? But yeah, I mean, my dad, I don't think had that view. I think he just knew I enjoyed football.
That you enjoy football.
Yeah, he knew I loved it. He knew I loved training.
Well, I do remember him coming to actually watch us play for the Kenilworth Cup.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he went to watch your other team.
He'd probably give me money to go and play football, because otherwise I was smashing against his car outside the back gate. So we used his car as a goal. So I think he thought, you know what, let's just let me get down the park and play.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously then playing for Dagenham.
Yeah.
And then.
Yeah, Dagenham.
How did that go for you?
Yeah, brilliant, fantastic time. Love the club. Feels like home when I go back there. I've been back a couple of times to watch games, and the fans have been fantastic.
Best game for them?
There's been a few. Probably.
And you stand that once?
Scoring a winner on my debut, my full debut.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's a WEDS evening.
That's it. You could retire now.
And I mean, going back to being a QPR fan, I'm playing alongside Tony Roberts is playing. Paul Bruce has set the goal up. So when I look back at things like that,
that's great for yourself being a QPR fan. Obviously, like playing alongside players. They used to go and watch.
Well, that's it. When Gary Hill told me I was in the Dagenham squad that first game, you're coming to play for us, you're in a squad tomorrow, Paul Bruce will pick you up from Hanger Lane. And I'm thinking, a QPR fan, I'm thinking,
Yeah.
And now we're still friends now, Brucey and I and Tony Roberts. Brilliant. And then, scored, like I say, scored loads of goals for Dagenham, done really well. And then there was all rumours. I mean, I remember back in the day, Hull City were interested in making a bid when Peter Taylor was manager, and I've still got a newspaper cut. It's now Cardiff City were eyeing me to replace Rob Earnshaw. So it was all of a sudden it started to escalate and
I mean, imagine if you'd gone there. Rob, I remember him coming down Rangers and scoring that.
It's quite funny.
4-0, 5-0 that night. Friday night.
Yeah, it was quite funny really, because I remember a conversation with Lenny Lawrence about the possibility of going into Cardiff because he was manager at the time, and he
Would you have gone?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, and I said that to Dagenham at the time. They were in a conference.
I mean, understandably, going from Dagenham, a lower league club, to Cardiff, who were in division. What division were
Division League One at the time.
League One at the time.
And it was a
step up in your career as well.
Yeah, it was a dream of mine to go and play league football, and I was always honest with John Steele at Dagenham because he took over from Gary Hill, and I remember my contract was coming up, and Dagenham had offered me a new one, and I said, look, I'm not looking to make money. I just wanted to go and play. My dream is league football. Obviously, the money's nice, but I want to play league football. And there was a lot of interest at the time. QPR, one of them as well.
That'd been great, wouldn't it?
I remember, and I remember Tony Roberts was a goalie coach at QPR, and I remember him saying to me, "Oh, they're definitely interested in you." Holloway's got your name on his whiteboard in his office, and I thought, bloody hell, and Gary Penrice invited me down to train.
Okay. What was that? How did you feel about that?
Yeah, my contract was going up at Dagenham, and I had a few options. There was a few options there to go to different clubs in the summer.
I mean, what a feeling like going from park football then to having all these clubs.
It was crazy. I remember going
touting or looking at you possibly I
remember going to Bristol
and
City.
especially being the club, one of the clubs being the club that you support.
Yeah, Bristol City for talks. I mean, the whole City one, I believe, was close to going through because we even had a pre-season friendly with them set up, and I didn't end up going. There was quite a few interests at the time, which was unbelievable.
So what happened in after all these talks and stuff, all possibilities? Where did you end up going off?
It come to the point with QPR. They wanted me to play in a friendly against Aldershot, which they used to play all the time.
Gary Waddick was their manager at one stage as well.
And,
is he still there?
No, he's gone there. We were. I spoke to QPR, but they wanted me to play in a game first, and Brentford put in an offer to me and said sign now or the deal's off the table. So,
and what division were Brentford in at the time?
League One. They were in League One, So I couldn't really risk going and playing in a friendly, but I could have got injured. I'm out of contract at Dagenham, so if I got an injury, I'd have been in trouble. So Brentford took me down the club, showed me around, showed that they really wanted me. Leroy Rossini was the manager.
Ex-QPR player as well.
Yeah, and being a striker himself as well was quite attractive to me because I thought I might learn.
Of course.
And end up signing for Brentford.
Okay. How'd that feel being a QPR fan? I mean, I know they're kind of like a smaller club, and obviously, I mean, did any of their fans know that you're a QPR fan? You know, did you get any?
Not at the beginning. Yeah, not at the beginning. They didn't know. And I got spotted at a QPR game, which was strange. And it got on the Brentford forum.
Oh, right.
I was at a QPR game, and yeah, I got a bit of stick. I remember getting a lot of
That's part of being.
And I had a few friends at Brentford fans. Carts, who's a joint manager of me here now at HANWELL. He's a Brentford fan. I remember getting loads of stick for it. But
you still do, don't you? Because they've had a better over the last couple of seasons.
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah. And no, it was good. The fans were fantastic to me there. I didn't have a successful time there as I would have liked. Scored on my league debut for him, the winner at Northampton.
Okay.
Which was.
I mean, obviously these things happen. You know what I mean? Some clubs you might might fit in well. It's just the way it is. I mean, obviously, I'm not saying you don't try, but you know.
Yeah. No, I don't. Under Leroy, I started well. I remember second game of the season, I didn't come. I was an unused sub in the first game, Northampton away, 1-0, scored past Lee Harper.
Ex-Rangers.
Ex-Rangers. There you go.
Another correct connection there.
Yeah, and then I scored the following game at Brighton.
Okay.
Last minute equaliser. And then
it's been buzzing, right?
Yeah, it was good. It was fantastic. And then kind of fell out with Leroy. Just, I think there was a bit of a misunderstanding. I stayed out of the changing room, being new to it, like we were saying about becoming getting there quite quickly. I stayed out of the changing room and done a newspaper interview and a radio interview, and he wanted me in the change room to do the debrief. And and looking back, I should have gone straight in the change room. I didn't, and it caused a bit of a problem. Then I picked up a couple of injuries, found myself unfit, struggling to get back in, and then once I got back in the side, Leroy got sacked, and then Scott Fitzgerald, the old Wimbledon centre half, took over, and he
new managers and sometimes
he had his own. He led me to believe I was in his plans, but then I wasn't. So.
I think that's just a general demeanour of football, isn't it? New manager comes in. I mean, you know, you can look at any club. Certain players might be out of favour, and then it's time to move on, possibly.
And I mean, looking back at that
which
time,
players should I assume will know anyway, kind of thing. You know, I mean, obviously you get a clean slate and stuff. Normally when a new manager comes in.
and when he come in, and it wasn't really a clean slate for me because there was a couple of clubs interested again. And I didn't want to go to them clubs, so I got forced to trade.
I mean, obviously, with the new manager coming in, how did you feel? I mean, obviously, previously with Leroy, even though you started off well, and then obviously things.
Yeah, no, the team we were going through a horrific time at the time in terms of the team, the performances. That's why Leroy left or got sacked, because I think at one point we were 19 games without a win. Which
results, as you were saying.
Results.
I mean,
business.
No matter what division you're in, results. Results game.
And to be fair to Leroy, he tried everything. He tried everything on the training pitch. He tried everything in terms of time off. Tried everything in terms of team building. We just couldn't buy a win. And it went along. One of them things. And then obviously change of manager. Scott Fitzgerald come in, told me I was part of his plans. But then I think what happened in between was a couple of clubs come in and were interested in taking me. I was living in Hammersmith at the time, quite happy at Brentford, didn't want to go. And then it was just training with the youth team, trying to get me out the door, basically.
And then obviously after that, where did you play after? Did you play
after that, I think the January window come about, and Dagenham at the time were sitting near the top of the conference. John Steele phoned me up at Dagenham and he said, from Dagenham, he said to me, come home, you're not playing at Brentford. If I speak to Brentford, we might be able to do something. So I said, okay, I'd love to. And
obviously you had the affiliation with Dagenham before, obviously.
The chance to go back to Dagenham at that time was massive for me, and I just, there was other clubs interested, but I just didn't even think about, with no disrespect to them, I just wanted to go back to Dagenham.
Well, you knew the score there, you knew how it worked, you knew whatever. I mean, obviously maybe different players when you were there before.
There was more or less the same place. It was more or less one or two added, and then I went back to Dagenham in that window. So Brentford got relegated. Dagenham won the conference, and I'll say it, any player, if you leave a club on not bad terms. It wasn't great terms. I left the club. You always look and think, oh, wanted to lose, sort of thing.
Yeah, of course. Well, yeah, at that time, I suppose, you know, the scenarios, etc., and so forth.
Yeah, and looking back, it was a good thing because Dagenham went up, and the first thing I looked for on the fixture list was when I was playing at Brentford. And I was fortunate enough. It was early in the season, second or third game, I believe. Might have been a bit later. I went back and scored the winner.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect scenario for me.
Oh yeah. As an individual.
Yeah. Got lots of grief before the game, lots of grief during the game. But it was
part and parcel, I suppose.
yeah.
I mean, as an individual person, as a footballer, because obviously you're in front of the public by, you know, even though you know TV as well, but I mean obviously actually at the grounds, you're hearing all these comments. I mean obviously different players react differently. I mean obviously you've got to try and ignore it and carry on.
Yeah.
Do the best of your ability on the pitch.
I had a fantastic relationship with the Brentford fans when I was there. And obviously when an old player goes back to it's usually the jesting between the player and the supporters, and there was a bit of that. And I
suppose going back to when you, as a player, when you go back to old clubs, unless you're in good terms, like I suppose like anything else, like work-wise, relationship-wise.
If you've done well for them,
like you know, the fans do appreciate it.
Yeah.
As a player, I mean, irrespective of what's gone on, bad, good, whatever. I mean, obviously your emotions, like you know this club. Obviously, you get affiliated with a club because especially if you spend a lot of time with them.
Yeah.
With Brentford, obviously, you went back and you got the winner. You said like for Dagenham, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, did you ever think about obviously, I did play for this club once, or like emotionally and stuff like that? Do players? Kind of like with these things.
No, I had a fantastic relationship with the Brentford fans while I was there. Fantastic. Because I like to think they see I give my all. Probably.
Well, I'm not being funny. I'll go and watch Rangers play. If the players give their all in every single game, which I know obviously, I mean they do try, I suppose, but you know sometimes they're made look as they're not trying.
Yeah.
That's what you can expect.
Yeah,
they're human beings, and it's like, of course we want to win.
Players don't mean to miss chances. Goalkeepers don't mean to make mistakes.
That's a split second. That ball comes into the box or that shot, and they might sky.
Yeah.
The fans say shoot with it, and it goes over. They coat them off.
Yeah.
Goes in the back of the net is the best thing since sliced bread, kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're going to get players misplace a pass. You're going to get people miss chances, things like that.
And then obviously weather conditions come into it as well.
The supporters want to see the player in that shirt giving their all for the shirt.
Obviously, so you went back to Brentford with Dagenham, you scored the winner. And how much more time did you spend at Dagenham? I mean,
another two, and that whole season and the next season I spent there with Dagenham, and then then it kind of come to an end. My contract was coming up, and then Jeff King, who was the owner, if you like, of Chelmsford City, phoned me and said, "Will you come and help us? We've got great ambition for the club."
Yeah.
And it was something that appealed to me. I've played against his sides previously. Made me a very good offer financially to go there. And that was the next part of my journey. Went there, ended up buying a place in Ipswich with my current partner to try and.
Well, yes, another thing as well. Like going to these, like as people know yourself, being a footballer.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, obviously nowadays with in the top flight divisions and stuff, or where there's better pay and stuff, the uprooting of your family and stuff, because obviously like some players maybe travel to and fro from many miles because they don't want to move, because the family maybe don't want to move, kind of thing. If it's a young family, maybe, but if it's an old family, they might just want to stay where they're happy where they are. Unless if the player goes, then obviously they make sacrifice, but then obviously.
I mean,
his family as well.
My partner at the time, Katie, was quite keen on moving out of London anyway.
Okay.
So we just looked at it as an opportunity.
Which helped, I suppose, in a way.
We just had Maisie, she was just born. So we kind of.
So you went to Chelmsford?
Yeah, moved up to Ipswich, half hour the other side of Chelmsford.
Yeah.
And enjoyed my time with Chelmsford.
How long did you play for Chelmsford?
Yeah, not long, a year and a half, maybe.
How'd you get on there?
Two seasons at Chelmsford.
Was it a good experience overall?
Yeah, good experience. Great bunch of lads. Really good team spirit there. We lost out on the playoffs. But it was good. It was a good year and a bit there, and then then I had a year out. Had a year out of the game.
Did you actually want a year out of the game yourself? You've been, I mean, let's be honest, going back to even playing park football on Sunday or Saturday, whatever, from constantly playing football, growing up, playing non-league football, then playing at League, was it League Two?
League One and League Two. I guess.
Did you just do that yourself as just because you wanted to do it?
The short answer to the question is no. I didn't want a year out. I didn't really get an offer that was attractive enough. There was a few offers, but nothing that really meant coming back London way and wasn't worth it to me in terms of finance and things like that. It wasn't worth selling my house. Yeah, and I just had a little girl, I had a family to support now, and football turns into a job. When you're a footballer, I know everyone says, "Oh, I'd love to be a footballer" and things like this, but many footballers will tell you it turns into a job. It's not,
I mean, you do the club duties. Obviously, you go training X and Y how many times a week. Obviously, you play the match game. Like in my job and everyone else who works, that same routine. Obviously, with football, it's a bit different because obviously you're working on different stuff. Different areas of the pitch. Obviously, defensive, midfield, attack, goalkeepers, etc. What you're doing as obviously player-wise. Then it's a team thing. You have your match time. Obviously, do the club duties that you need to do. Obviously, as part of. Obviously, that's what you get paid. It's not just about the match day. Obviously,
don't get me wrong. Footballers are well paid, so you can't complain. But New Year's Day, New Year's Eve in hotels. And then
sacrificing
playing New Year's Day, boxing. Brentford with Leroy Senior, we trained Christmas Day.
Okay.
So we trained Christmas Day. That was all new to me. And then obviously you got the Boxing Day game. Yeah, a bit of a shock. There's one club Christmas Eve, Christmas night in a hotel, and then because we had a game Boxing Day to make sure we're all ready for the game.
Footballers so
it's a big sacrifice with the family, especially as I had a little one at the time just come along.
Yeah.
And I was this doting dad wanted to spend time with my
which is normal. Which is normal for any person. Just because you're a footballer, you are a human being at the end of the day as well. Yeah. Obviously, as you just said, they get paid well to do a job, which you're lucky enough to do.
Yeah.
And you still do, obviously. Obviously, you are, as you said earlier on, a player as well as being kind of manager, if needed. You're still in the game, which you still love doing. Obviously, it's a passion of yours.
Yeah. So that comes to an end at a good time. My Chelmsford days come to an end at a good time for me. I had a year out, got itchy feet after that year, wanting to play football again.
Obviously, you sat back and looked at possibilities and stuff.
Yeah, the Chelmsford thing come to an end quicker than I thought it would. So then we had a house in Ipswich. I wasn't really enjoying it in Ipswich, being a London boy. And not an ill boy, used to the hustle and the bustle. So we ended up
culture difference. It's like it's country, isn't it?
So we ended up selling.
They've got town centres and stuff like that.
We ended up selling it and moving back to London. And then I just started playing at this level, Uxbridge. All my mates were at Uxbridge. My former manager from Norfolk, Tony Chills, who I really enjoyed playing for, was at Uxbridge. Uxbridge was the club where it all started for me. So it just
kind of like full circle.
Yeah, just full circle. Went back there.
You're still in the game.
Still in the game, and it wasn't really about. There's no pressure. That wasn't really about. How much you're going to pay me and all this. Where sometimes it is when you get to that higher level.
Of course. Not saying how you would have reacted had you gone higher.
Yeah.
Obviously, like championship or even got to top flight. Obviously.
Yeah.
It's more pressure.
Yeah.
Obviously, you get paid very good money.
Yeah.
But obviously, coming with that, even more sacrifices.
Yeah. And all my pals were at Uxbridge when I played, and I was there a year at Uxbridge, and then Wealdstone, we're a big club now, in the non-league scene. A club that I always looked out for because we were rivalries against them when I was at Norfolk and Uxbridge. So Gordon Bartlett at Wealdstone phoned and asked me if I fancied a challenge at higher level. They got a chance of doing something. So I said went there, spent a year and a half there. We won the Ryman Premier, scored goals in that season for them. That was good. And then it got to a point where there was a couple of clubs again and I'm touching 33, 34 now, and there was a couple of clubs again a little higher up who still do a job for us, and I just thought, this is going back to where I've got to take my football serious again, whereas at Uxbridge I was kind of, and
not going back to like with your mates down the park,
yeah,
or like
yeah,
on a Saturday or Sunday,
yeah,
even though it's maybe similar, but obviously you're still at a level where you've got to take it a little bit because it's Uxbridge.
yeah,
yeah.
And I enjoyed it at Uxbridge, and when you're enjoying football,
Course,
you play better. It's simple as that. And I was enjoying loving it at Wilstone, and that come to an end, and I looked at it and just thought, you know what, I want to go. I just want to go now and see out the rest of my career with my pals, and I kind of went back to Uxbridge, carried on as I left off, and then that was it. And then I got to the end of the season. I was 35. Couldn't face another pre-season. I just thought, and I used to skip pre-season like anything. Don't tell it my players now, because if any of them skip a session now, they're in trouble. Okay. But I used to skip pre-season, and I just couldn't bear doing another pre-season. I'd done
it for years,
15 or 16 at the time, and I just thought no.
I mean, understandably, you know this, when you kind of get to start, if being in the football in terms of like playing at a high level with being linked to clubs, playing for clubs, affiliated clubs, where it's non-league, obviously you expect these things to happen. They've got to be done. Yeah. But I suppose when you've done it for so long, and then you think, well, you're getting older, as you said, stuff like that. You just want to enjoy it. Yeah.
You got to a point where I was
money's
playing.
Not,
no, that's right. I was playing games on a Saturday, and not recovering from them games to the Wednesday. My legs were screaming, my knees were screaming, my back was screaming, and I just thought to myself, I need to stop. And then didn't play for the rest of the next season till March.
Okay.
And then Gary Meakin called me from Egham. A couple of players that I knew there that from the Uxbridge days were there. Said, get him in, he's what we need. And he asked me to go in and play, and I just said, I'll come. About 2.5 stone overweight, but I'll come and help out where I can. And it's quite funny, really, because I've said it a couple of times here, but scored on my debut. It seems that I've made a habit. Made a habit of scoring on my debut. So,
which is a good thing.
Yeah, I've done it at Wilstone. I've done it at Dagenham. I've done it at Brentford. I've done it at Uxbridge.
Fans, good books already.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's more than just one game.
And it was down the road from here, a 90th minute winner at North Greenford. I remember it well, and I celebrated it like
I'm sure I've played against North Greenford myself. Sure, I have.
I celebrated like my first goal I've ever scored. So got the bug back, and ended up staying at Egham for 2 years. We made the playoffs both years, but fell short in the playoffs. And then that's when the management thing came about. Fell into management.
So going from being part football to non-league football to playing for Dagenham to playing for Brentford.
Yeah.
Going back to Uxbridge where you initially started. With your pals and actually enjoyed it. Even though obviously I'm sure you enjoyed your overall experience as a footballer.
Had fantastic times every time.
Yes, you had your highs and your lows with different teams and stuff and managers, etc. and so forth. You dealt with that in your own way. Obviously, like footballers today now, obviously it's mental awareness thing. Players don't realise, fans don't realise. I mean, I actually done an interview with Don Masson, who's played QPR and Derby in Scotland. We done it at his hotel up in Nottingham before we played Nottingham Forest away.
Yeah.
And just I did actually stay at his hotel previously before many years ago with a mate of mine booked out. He had all these pictures up of him, different teams, QPR, Derby, Scotland.
Yeah.
And I done the interview with him. There's not many pictures, and a friend who come with us to Archie film, he was asking about it, and it's as if he's never been a footballer. Like he's got grandkids and stuff. And one thing which kind of not hurt me or like the thing is actually like he still remembers the penalty we missed for Scotland, and he still feels to this day that he let his family down and the fans down. See, that's what fans don't see.
Yeah.
Now you've been a player. Non-league and pro, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've gone away from games like irrespective of what the fans have said. You go home. Like, you're in your own bubble because obviously you've got family around you, you've got friends around to support you and stuff.
They're the ones that suffer. They're the ones that suffer. Your family.
Like anything else, it's like in normal day-to-day people. Like your nearest and your dearest are the ones that suffer. Obviously, yes, they understand that you're doing a job being a footballer, etc. and so forth. And now you're a manager at HANWELL as well. So obviously you're slightly different, but I'm sure you're still going to have your ups and downs.
Yeah.
Obviously, you want more ups, obviously.
Yeah.
Now you've got to deal with players now.
Yeah.
Now, temperament, stuff like that. If obviously you get to see a player if he's looking down or whether you man management, as you say, it's the fans don't see this. When you see what's on the pitch.
Yeah. I mean, as a player, you take it home. You do take it home. I mean, my missus and my kids. Well, as a manager as well. When I lose a game, they know if it pops up on Twitter that we've lost the game, and they know the kids know to be on best behaviour when I get home.
Yeah.
And the missus.
Obviously, you don't mean to, but that's life. That's life.
You just become snappy, and I do take it home with me. I try not to now. I'm still learning now, not to take it home with me as a player.
It must be hard because obviously, you're frustrated because the team hasn't played well, or yourself as a player, you haven't played well, or like the team hasn't played well, and you've got the fans on your back, maybe your manager on the back, and obviously you're on the back of players now, being the manager yourself.
Yeah.
And obviously, you've got your team, your background team as well. Now, obviously, man management, you can gauge, obviously you talk one-on-ones.
Yeah. I mean, I'm learning at that now because I've only been a manager a year and a bit, and I'd say the early days. I mean, the early days were only a year and a half ago as a manager, but my man management wasn't great, and I changed when I go over the white line as a player. I changed, and I'm quite an angry person on the pitch, and I took that into management with me, and it's only the last year where I've stood back and gone, you can't be like this on the touchline. You have to be this. You have to be someone they look to if things aren't going right, and make sure they know it's okay to make a mistake, and it's okay if you don't score a goal. And the keeper, it's okay if you make a mistake. Don't get me wrong. There's going to be times where like the players now, I'll let them know when I'm not happy. But
But you have to, yes.
Yeah.
But obviously there is ways and means of doing it, like anything else. It's how you approach.
It's about the man management, like we were talking about earlier off camera. About man management is massive now, even at this level of football, any level of football.
Well, I mean, especially as you know yourself, Chris. I mean, especially more days now, it's more highlighted with, as I mentioned earlier on, mental awareness. I'm not saying that on the pitch to play. I mean, obviously, I don't know. As a fan, I go and watch QPR play, and like many other fans around the world, countries, go and watch their teams play. Right? Obviously, you've had the chance of playing at a high level of football to a degree, and now you're managing at a level.
Yeah.
Obviously, hoping to go higher.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
I suppose you're still learning, as you say. You've only been doing this game management-wise for about a year and a half. Right?
Yeah.
Right? Obviously, I'm sure there is differences. Being as a player, how you react to being how as a manager, how you react.
Yeah.
Obviously, results-wise, as a player, you're going to be annoyed or frustrated if you lose and you think you've got something out of the game. And the same as the manager.
Yeah, the manager's head it falls on.
Different.
Yeah, the manager's head it falls on when there's bad results.
Everyone's different, as you know, how they react to it. I mean, obviously, and it's got bigger because obviously players do suffer.
Yeah.
And managers do suffer. The fans don't see that.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're in the game still as a manager now.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not saying you don't suffer yourself. Everyone's different.
Yeah.
You have to watch your players now.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and you got to bear in mind that these lads.
And what age group of your lads that you've got here at HANWELL?
Early, I would say 20, 22, 21, 22, the average age.
Yeah.
And with them,
I mean, obviously,
they work. They've got day jobs.
Yeah,
so and you just got to understand that they might have had a rough day at work or whatnot, but.
And it's no different to a normal but obviously it's just in a football game.
It's my job. It's my job. Cart's job, who's joint manager me, and the coaching staff's job to make sure that they're in the right frame of mind.
And obviously the players do understand, this is your job. You're going to give them a bit of a grief if they've done. I mean, they are allowed to make mistakes.
Yeah.
They're human.
Everyone makes mistakes. Yeah.
Obviously, ideally in an ideal world, if you didn't misplace a pass or an open goal or keeping not saving the or pushing it around the post or something, you know, it'd be a perfect world, but unfortunately it's not a perfect
Yeah,
world.
no, hey, listen, if I had a striker who scored every goal and the keeper saved every shot, he wouldn't be a bloody HANWELL town. So he'd be a lot higher up. So
okay, mate. Just if you could just give us an overall summary, going from a player, the overall difference from being a player to a manager, is it different in the sense of like how you react, how you do things?
Yeah, no. Like I said, when I was on the pitch, I was always having a go at people around me. Then as I got older, kind of picking them up around me and learning mentalities and helping, especially the youngsters, helping them through games and telling them what they could have done better.
And I suppose as well, like as you said, like, you know, you've got family and stuff. I mean, from going from not having children and having responsibilities of supporting the family, obviously that alone in itself.
Yeah.
Irrespective, never mind looking after your squad of players that you have here, who are like another family to you, obviously. As well.
Yeah.
And your backroom team, obviously, as well.
Yeah, we got a fantastic group here, and we have fantastic relationships with them all. All of us, everyone's got a fantastic relationship here. So I think that's important. That's important to make sure that's right, because if it's not right, the changing room's not right. If the changing room's not right, results don't go right. So it's important. It's important that we look after them in the best way that we can. This club is fantastic in the togetherness in terms of you've got the committee, the president, chairman, the commercial manager, the vice chairman, all know the players. The players know supporters.
Going from like spectrum wise, from say like HANWELL Town up to like Man United.
Yeah.
I mean, the structures are mostly like very similar in the sense of like how you do things to a degree.
Yeah.
You know, but it's on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I've been a professional for 10 years, so I run the club as professionally as I can. Obviously, there's hurdles in the way because it's semi-professional,
of course,
and you're going to get a player not turn up or phone you up an hour or two before a game. I can't make it. I'm stuck at work, or things like that. Whereas professional, I don't think.
of course,
I would imagine someone like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has Lukaku or someone call him up and say, "Oh, I'm stuck I'm fitting a bathroom for someone and I'm stuck here at the minute."
It's a bit debatable, didn't that player at Aston Villa was Steve Bruce, so he couldn't get out of his house.
Yeah, and
Not trying to put you down there on that one.
Yeah. So you do get.
But you do get. I mean, yeah. But I know what you mean in the sense of it is difficult at this level. Of course it is.
Yeah.
And that's why it makes it a bigger achievement.
I mean, I've had at this level, I've had a player's girlfriend phone me up and say he won't be at football, and when I asked why, she said he's fallen asleep. So, so they're the sort of problems you come across.
I mean, overall, if you can just send out a message to any young budding footballers out there, what they need? I mean, obviously, I'm sure they know anyway. But what would you recommend they do? What's the best thing they do to actually strive to actually get there? Because it is a very hard thing to get into and be at any kind of higher level.
The best advice I give is very simple: just don't give up. If you believe you're good enough and you keep practicing and you keep working hard, then obviously sometimes it comes down to a bit of luck, but you will be spotted, and I believe that because that's what I done. I was told I wasn't good enough by numerous people. I remember my friends knocking on the door for me to go out and go to Turpin's. Remember the underage, under 18s nightclub in Uxbridge, but I used to say, no, I've got football tomorrow, I can't. And they used to say, oh, what's the matter with you, and things like that. And they were all good footballers at the time as well. And I was the only one that made it, so it takes a lot of time, a lot of commitment, a lot of.
I mean, the obvious things on it, you have to sacrifice a lot.
Yeah, you sacrifice a lot.
Yeah. You know, I mean, obviously, obviously fans like you do know stuff, but to actually get an insight of how it, from someone who has actually done it.
Yeah. I remember them days. I remember them days turning down, going out with them and things like that, and they used to say, "Oh, what's the matter with you?" and things like that, and I'll say, "Well, no,
but obviously, looking back on it now, you made the right choice.
Yeah,
I mean, you're still in the game now. You still love doing the thing.
Yeah,
you know, it's your manager now. Obviously, hoping to be, strive on again. Okay, mate. Thank you for your time, Chris.
Oh, no problem.
That's it for myself. DJ Ranger with Chris Moore, ex-pro, now at Hanwell Town as manager. Just give me an insight into what it's like being an ex-pro footballer and starting as a boy, playing alongside the likes of myself back in the day, and then obviously making it, and you know, one of the lucky ones because it's a very hard game to get into. That's it. So DJ Ranger, Chris Moore, manager at Hanwell Town FC, for QPR fans and players TV. We're out of it.